information, and then the registration number and that sort of thing. So please, please always invest on, because I mean, Amazon charges you, you can send the product, once you actually have a new product, they charge you about $50 to make something like this. They actually have a photo, what is it, a studio on Amazon that actually takes great pictures. And this is what's taking one of in there. Okay, we'll talk more about pictures a little bit more in the future. This is a big slide. Please, if something that you come up with, this might help you out in any type of business if you're in the product business. Sourcing, this is what I do if I'm sourcing from China. A lot of people have talked about Alibaba. I love it. The thing is that once I find a product that I want to sell, let's say for the time being, I found that I want to sell spinning tops. I go to Alibaba. You actually, for me, the best way that I can find a supplier is go and request a quote, which is for short RFQ. Once you sign up, you go into buying leads and then post an RFQ. An RFQ is going to be sent to multiple suppliers, multiple trademark, trade companies or manufacturers in China to let, hey, this person is looking for something like this. It's something that you're actually manufacturing, and they're going to be bidding process. This is a bidding process. This is a better way, instead of going into Alibaba and finding a way or finding a company or manufacturer. No, do it backwards. Let them fight for you. In this RFQ, I really suggest at this time, if you have a product that you want to actually scale up or design, designs a blueprint, even if they're on a napkin. I've done that, so don't be afraid. Material list, what materials are they going to be comprised of? Is it wood? Is it going to be metal? Whatever you want to do. Logos and back designs. Fiverr, I don't know if you ever heard about Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com is a freelancer website where there's a multiple services, and they're going to provide you with bagging services or logo services. You can even edit a video. We use it a lot for our purposes. And they can design you a great bag, and you can even use the logos that you can produce and put it on the bag. Once you have the barcodes, everything like that, just put them in there, and they're going to provide you with a great sample. And then use it on an RFQ. If you don't have it, don't put it there. Eventually, once you have the best company, then you can go ahead and be more detail-oriented. Provide similar items, so prototypes. There's a lot of people that are afraid of designing or making a prototype. It is really easy. I mean, almost every library in El Paso has a 3D printer. And for myself, I bought myself one because I mean, at a time we used it a lot to make new toys. And this is one thing that I really encourage you. You have an idea, find someone in Fiverr or someone that you know that designs, built it, and then they can send a file that is an STL, design it, and send it to a public library, and they're going to print it for you. Sort offers. Once you have multiple offers, I would really, this is my way of sorting all the offers. The first one is the minimum order quantity. So how many items must I purchase in the least amount that I can try it out? Sometimes people they want to do a lot. I don't do that. I always go into even if I have the money to invest it and I know that it's going to be selling, I always do the MOQ. Because I mean, the first time that you actually shop from a company, from a manufacturing company, you don't know the quality. You don't know how well they work with you, what communication. So I need you always, if you're going to doing this, what is the MOQ? And if they're going to be doing free samples, I always request for a free sample. What's the pricing? How many units is the least, and what is going to be the price that we're going to be getting at? Shipping location, how close are they to the coast? Let's say, because one thing that you have to think about is half of the cost of the product shipping from China is going to be just in shipping. Let that sink in, because I mean, it gets. I mean, if you find a product in Alibaba, it's really inexpensive. But I mean, just think about it. It's going to be almost twice when you have shipping. But it's a great way to make money, because I mean, you can get it much cheaper over there. You sometimes even 10 times cheaper than it is quoted in the U.S. But still, I mean, it's better to spend like 3/4 what is it, a little bit more on the shipping, on a pricer, on the price of the product, and then bring it here than it is actually producing it here. And then we actually get product from Mexico. We getting, I mean, from locally, and we're getting from China. So those are the main ways we bring products here as a business. Okay, going into the buying terms. So one thing that you have to think about on the buying terms is whether they want um, what is it, payment on delivery, FOB or FOD, COD. There's a multiple payment terms. So you have to find out which payment terms are good with you, good with the company, and eventually how are you going to be having that investment for your, how you're going to be coming up with that investment for your company. And then one great thing that I always sort of start is I always grade the salesman. I always pay, I mean, for myself, I wouldn't give myself a 10, right? But the thing is that communication skills, how well they can actually get your idea, how well they can read documents, how well they can um, hustle, you know? Because I mean, you have to think, oh, I mean, maybe I can get a little bit, a couple of cents down. But the thing is that if they're actually allowing it, how they're willing to work with you, sometimes this is a great way to compensate for maybe I have two companies that are giving me the same price, but the other one has a better communication skills. Why? Because there's going to be huge communication threads in your email. I can tell you that. Okay, look for the supplier's background. Trade shows, if they've gone to a trade show, suppliers type. If they're a manufacturer, a trade company. It's not that one is better than the other one, but sometimes it all depends upon what product that you're doing. Because I mean, I usually, from my experience, trade companies have much more better sales skills, communication skills than manufacturers. Excuse me. And I would, I mean, because I've done business with both, but there's nothing better than the other one. Like it all depends on what you're actually doing. Location, or how many reviews do they have? Because Alibaba operates as well with reviews. What customers and what is the origin of customers that they have? If it's Europe, what type of laws do they know? I know that is a lot of information, but this slide for me is one of the biggest things if to create revenue in any type of e-commerce. Okay, once you have a product, I always require you to get a barcode because Amazon is not gonna get a product without a barcode. And then the GS1US.com, it's an organization, it's a big organization that actually came up that you have to pay more to get a barcode. So I don't recommend getting there. So go into like barcode stock is more affordable. It's before the legislation to get like a big firm to organize the barcodes. So go into these ones. There's plenty of room to get great barcodes at really affordable prices. You can pay $50 for almost 500 numbers, and each number could be either a product, a variation, or a bundle. Sourcing tips. One thing that I really recommend is sometimes, because I mean, shipping through the sea takes about 2 months. We have, if you guys want to know, I have a supplier that actually gets it faster. Even got me a couple of items faster when it was the pandemic and the Long Beach port was really stranded. So I got someone that actually was bringing in a lot of a product through fruits and vegetables port instead of going to Long Beach. So it was one in LA, but it was in Long Beach. And this is a way, once you get the grasp of how to bring the items here, oh, you're made. And I can help you out with that if you guys want more contact information. Also, Fritos. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but this one is a great way to compare and contrast suppliers to bring in products from China. Um, and this is one thing that I already said. It's shipping can be as costly as the order itself sometimes. It all depends on how much are you going to be ordering. But yeah, like let's say for the sea, for one pallet, you would be paying about $1,000. If you want to be shipping the same pallet via air, it's almost $4,000. It all depends if you're actually going to be making it. because I've done both. I love to ship through air because I get a couple of days from China to here, but I'm paying 4 times the cost. But the sea right now, I'm pretty happy with it because right now I learned to have more inventory in hand. I learned more of a cash on hand, so I can manage those times and that inventory. And tell you, I'm going to talk to you about how to reorder. One important thing about your product listing is pictures. Pictures say a thousand words. I always have Amazon to take the couple first pictures, and then I send them out to Fiverr, and then this is what is the result. I pay $50 to have someone model, and another $50 to get all the colors, the wording, and then uh, five five images. So for $100, this is what is making me money. If you know, think about I mean, I always place the white background, the product itself, all the items that are going to be included with the pure white background. That's actually required by Amazon. The second one, we usually put the dimensions and then a couple of items that are going to be the product using it, the qualities, the materials, and then get ideas to the people that are going to be purchasing. Oh, this is going to be great for Christmas or the stocking stuffer because of the size. And there's a bunch of things that you can do because I mean you're selling an idea rather than selling a product, because right now it's a piece of nostalgia. Once you started your product, you're going to be thinking who's going to be purchasing the product. For this one, I get mostly older adults or teachers that want to do something for the their students, to do something practical, something that is not on the that is going to be hand-eye coordination or physical therapy, something like that. So you have to think who is going to be your customer, trying to take your pictures, and then you can try again. Because I mean, it's a trial and error. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. Requirements for new listings. One thing that you have to, well, that I actually suggest is to have the brand already. If not, you have to put a brand that is the product you're actually reselling. A barcode that we talk about, the pictures, the product description, and then the category access. Some things, if you don't want to try to ungate category, I suggest trying these ones. These ones they don't need to be ungated. Some of the great things that you can do is what is it? Tools and home improvement. This is a huge one. Also, industrial and scientific, books and beauty. They don't need to be ungated. And ungated is actually sending the invoice and letting them know, okay, so this is what I this is where I purchase it on, or maybe like jewelry. Jewelry, you have to actually have certificates. If you're going to be reselling jewelry, you have to have the certificates of how many carats, or how many, or is this a diamond legitimate, or this is a there's a bunch of things that you have to think about a jewelry, but for me, I don't sell jewelry. I'm not a big fan. Okay, listing an item. When we have all the information, we have the title. The title we have to fill out. This is one of my products. This one was uh, one of my bestsellers last December. But the thing is that if you can see, I have for this item almost 1,040 reviews. Once you have a product that is mature, you don't have to do anything. These are the products that you're aiming for. And then for this one, I get it for $3, and I'm selling it for 15. Amazon is taking about 5. And I'll let you do the math. For every single unit, you can do a lot of profit once you have the grasp of the first 2 steps. So first, try to learn how to manage Amazon fulfillment, and then the second one is how to protect yourself and create great products. And for me, to find what product I like is pretty much what I was passionate about. I mean, all my life I spent it. I mean, as a young kid, play by myself, right? Because I mean, my sister, I didn't want to play with my sister with her Barbie doll, so I had to play myself with toys. And something that I really liked is that my parents always gave me toys that were um, something that I had to build. something like Legos, Canex. There's a bunch of I was growing up building um, what is it? I had a lot of books of um, I don't know if you remember Sopa de Letras. There's books because I mean when I was growing up in Mexico, there were a lot of books like put the tail on the donkey. There's a lot of toys. So I grew up doing a lot of those things. So for me, it's like nostalgia. So that's why I came up with the idea of nostalgia. So there's a piece of us that lies upon all these products. So if they can actually give us that feeling of hey, I remember doing this. And I want to share it. So that's the main thing that our products sell. And this is not a pitch about our brand or the products, but this is what I'm passionate is not only because I mean I was passionate selling candies, but one thing that I'm passionate about is sharing um, that that feeling of that where times were more easier. I guess it wasn't that hard for us to um, it's a strong way for us because it's a feeling. You cannot describe sometimes a feeling, but the feeling of family, a feeling of being protected, a feeling of being um, fulfilled and enjoying what you were doing. So that's the thing that I feel for our brand is that toys gives us that pleasure. Is that not only we're thinking about what am I gonna be doing next? No, I have to knock the other top out, or maybe toma todos. I need to get everybody to get a. I need to toma todo to get all the coins on the table. You know, it's just for us to live in the moment. Okay, this is one thing that I really suggest is that once you're filling out the title, the description, the keyword on the previous page, look for keywords. One of the great things that I love, and it's the same app. I really like this app. It's helium10.com. Um, this is misspelled. Sorry about that, but it's on the previous, and it's going to be in the end of the presentation, and it's going to be corrected once I send it to you. This page gives you a way for you to research a keyword. Once you have a product, you're going to put in the search bar, and they're going to giving you similar keywords that people are actually using on Amazon only. And once you have that, you get the more relatable ones, and then you put them again and get those words. Now put them in a spreadsheet.